the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save my file, and you can see it has created a name basics.r. One of the things that I find very important is you put a comment. It was written by Davis on a specific date. You can give the date, and you can also say what you are doing in this script so that you can be able to record. Maybe I want to look at basics of R software. For example, if I say X, so I want to create a vector and I call it X, and I say a sequence of numbers from 1 up to 20 with a difference of 3. I want to create a sequence of numbers from 1 to 20 with a difference of 3. If I do the control enter, which is up from here, then the current file or selection, control plus enter, then it will give me down there on the console, I have X and I have my sequence. The smallest number is 1, then 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 19. 1 with a difference of 3 to a maximum of 20. That gives me a sequence of numbers. What about if I wanted to create numbers that maybe are negative? I could have said a sequence of numbers. Maybe the smallest is -5. I want to go all the way to 5 with a difference of 1. Let me see what type of number I'll get there. If I say x1, it starts with -5, -4, until +5. I could also have them in decreasing form by saying sequence by is equals to maybe -2. I start with 30, decreasing by 2 until number 6. From 30 with a difference of 2, 28, 26, and the lowest number should be 6. So that's how many numbers are in X. It tells me there are 7 numbers. And if I look at X, actually there are 7. It's 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 19. And that is a total of 7 numbers that I have. What is the floor of a number like 2.448? Look at the relationship, the floor, and the ceiling of 2.448. Same number. You see that the floor gives you 2, the ceiling gives you 3, even though the number is less than 2.5. So the floor takes the number down to a full integer, the ceiling takes the number up to a full integer. So that's the difference. The mean of X, that could give us the mean. The mean of the sequence X, of that sequence of numbers. I could also get the standard deviation of X. Could also get the square root of X. It gives me the square root each of the numbers. You can see the square root of 16 is 4, the 19 is 4.35. And so I take X and just square it, and it tells me that X2, I square each of the X number, so it's 1, 16, 49, 100, 169, and so on. So I'll call it M1 for my matrix, and I'll use the command matrix. I'm going to concatenate numbers between 1 and 9. So I'm creating numbers 1, 2, 3 until 9. And I need my matrix to be, because it has 9 numbers, I want it to have 3 rows. By row will be equals to 2. What does it mean? So I have numbers 1 to 9. I want my matrix to have 3 rows. And I want it to put them by row. So the first row will have 1, 2, 3. The second row will have 4, 5, 6. So we can see what happens. And there I get my M1. You can see that the first row has 1, 2, 3. The second one 4, 5, 6. What about if I said by row is false? So I'm just copying that, change that, and then here instead of saying true, I just say false. And what happens with my M2? Let's find out. You see, there's a difference. Now, because I said by row is false, it writes the numbers by column. 1, 2, 3, the first column, 4, 5, 6, the second column, and flutes. And I'm going to create a combination of fruits. I can have oranges, I can have mangoes, I can have guava, I can have melon. Let me just have those 4 oranges. And there I can check what class are these fruits in the character class. I can also check the number of characters in the fruits. So for each of the fruit, how many characters? So oranges is made of 7 characters, mango 7, guava 5, and melon 5. And that would also create numbers instead of characters. I could tell it give me numbers from 1 to 20. This is also a vector. And if I try to check the class of numbers, you realize that they are integers. Yes, I have 1 to 20. Those are my numbers. I can use a colon to write them down, and that tells me that those are numbers. What do I mean by that? I want to start off with an example. I'm going to call it F, and I want to create one where I'm dealing with male, female, male, and then the other one will be maybe male, and maybe then just let me have 5 of them. Let's try to check the class of this. It tells me they are characters. So what I do is I introduce the word factor to make them factors, to categorize them. As I would expect them to become categorical data or factor data as we use it commonly in R. So if I say class of F, I find that it is a factor. Levels of F. Now, you realize that it's telling me that I have 3 levels. Why? Because one of the male is written with a small letter. So what we do is we make it a capital letter so that it fits into the other. So now number of levels will go down to 2, and that is BMI. So the first thing is it's a data.flame. And one of the things is gender. I can see gender C is equals to male, female, female, female. So I'll assume that in my data set, I have 1 male and 3 female. So I can have the gender. I could have their age. Age is a number, so I don't need to put it in quotes. So there are 4 of them. Again, a comma. Maybe I could put in their height because I'm interested in their BMI. And the height is also a number. I'll put it in centimeters. There are 4 of them, and maybe then their weight. So that should give me the weight in kilograms, and I could have 89, I could have 68, I could have 75, I could have 52. So that's the data that I have on BMI. I should be able to see my data down here on the console down that I have my BMI. So these are some of the basic commands that we could find very common in R.